Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Haunting Hour episode review here for Spooky Month in 2021. And if you're watching this, before or after, then it'll just be an episode of the review of the review of the episode. So this one is a very well beloved episode of the show. For a long time, it used to be my favorite. It's my third favorite now, so it's gone down a little. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means two episodes are better than this one, in my opinion. This one might be some of your favorites. I'm not trying to like rag on it or anything. I absolutely adore it. It is a perfect episode. It's called Catching Cold, and it is a kind of an earlier episode. I believe it's either in seasons 1 or 2. It might be in season 2, but the story is pretty simple. Essentially, we have our main character, Marty, who is played by Robert Cabron, who you might remember from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie series, at least those kind of movies. So he played Rowley, of course, in those. And he's the main character, and he is essentially obsessed with creamy cold ice cream. And this is a major it's a major like plot point, like a major story beat. And creamy cold ice cream is one of the most unique ice cream brands in the Haunting Hour series. In fact, it seems to be almost supernatural. The main villain in this episode is not a person or a monster. It's actually a truck. So the ice cream truck you're seeing here on screen is the villain in the episode. Um, Before I go any further, though, there's gonna be major spoilers for the episode, like major, so I'm gonna spoil the entire thing. So please, if you want some context, go back and watch Catching Cold from The Haunting Hour. You can find it, I believe it's on YouTube, and if you can't get it on there, it is going to be on Daily Motion, so that website that you can watch various shows on. So yeah, if you want to go on there and watch it, there might be some ads, but just go to the one called Gaming 92. That's the one I watched it on, and there's no ads whatsoever. So just go on Daily Motion, type in Gaming 92, and you'll find the episode. If you have it used to be on Netflix, but it's a little hard to find now. But you can probably either buy it on DVD or you can go to either Daily Motion or YouTube to see the Haunting Hour episodes. It's a little hard to watch it now because it's obviously no longer airing. So, anyway, the story. Marty is obsessed with the creamy cold ice cream, and there's this really creepy ice cream truck you see in right in front of you in the screenshot. And that is the creamy cold ice cream truck, and it basically goes around just like a normal ice cream truck, with the jingle and stuff. Except the jingle for this truck is one of the creepiest like things I've ever heard, I should say, in a show. And the truck itself is one of the most unsettling, creepy, just strange trucks I've ever seen in a show ever. Like it's just really like there's something about this truck that is just so captivating and yet really creepy. It's hard to explain. You got to see the episode. You probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. But the ice cream truck is the villain, and we get to learn a little bit more about the supposed driver of the truck, who was a young boy named Jimmy Jeffries, and so he was a kid that disappeared many years ago. And also, fun fact: this episode, Catching Cold, is actually based on Neil Shusterman's short story, which I read not too long ago. And man, it is one of the best short stories I've ever read. It is awesome. I think it's the only Haunting Hour episode to be based on a short story. I could be wrong on that, because the My Imaginary Friend was also based on a short story, I think. But yeah. Anyway, so Marty tries to his main goal throughout the episode is to essentially get this ice cream like in any way he can. It's a little scary. It's like almost an episode about addiction and like the dangers of that. And it's essentially like a cautionary tale about don't get attached to things, don't get obsessed with like drugs and addiction, things like that. The ice cream is almost presented like a drug, which is a little iffy, but it's not like in your face. You know, it's like a subtle thing, which is nice. So Marty gets obsessed with the ice cream. He dreams about it every night, and he eventually it gets so bad that he's essentially broke, and he has to ask his parents for money, and of course they won't let him get ice cream. So he steals his dad's wallet, some money, and he tries to track down the entire episode. He's trying to track down this ice cream truck because it never stops. It just keeps driving throughout the neighborhood. And so it's really weird. Like, he always hears the ice cream truck at night, like about 8, 9 o'clock. He hears the ice cream truck outside the neighborhood, and he tries to go out and get it. But the truck is so clever and so fast that by the time Marty goes outside to try to, get the truck to slow down, then it just takes off. So it's all about him trying, like, wanting to have like a taste of the ice cream, because like his whole obsession is he doesn't know the actual taste of the ice cream. He's only heard about it. So of all these stories of the creamy cold ice cream and the creaminess of it, and the like it's almost like heaven is on your tongue, which is interesting. And Marty does have, and there's another character we follow besides Marty's dad, which we see him a little bit. He's revealed to be a police officer, and his equipment, actually his tire spikes, are actually used later on in the film, or not in the film, in the episode, where Marty actually finally, at the end of the episode, he finally tracks down the ice cream truck and he blows its tires with these spikes. But anyway, that's for the end of the episode. But Ari is Marty's best friend. He's a guy, and Ari's a little bit of a strange name. But Ari and him have a very interesting friendship. Ari is just kind of a normal guy. He doesn't care about ice cream that much. He actually hates it. He's not a fan of it. And him and Marty have this weird relationship where Ari is just he's a sane person, right? So he doesn't take Marty seriously about this ice cream. He doesn't care. It's like this weird back and forth relationship where they seem kind of like friends, but they kind of bicker a lot. It's like this weird relationship that they have. It's implied during the very beginning of the episode that they used to be good friends, but now they've kind of drifted apart because of Marty's obsession with this ice cream and this ice cream truck. And so that's kind of driving their friendship apart throughout the episode. And it's kind of cool to watch them kind of spiral out of control a little bit. And Ari tries to make up for the fact that he doesn't like ice cream. He buys some at the store, some generic ice cream brands, and he tries to give some to Marty. And Marty just spits it out, and he's like, "Oh, what is this stuff? I want creamy cold, not this garbage." And that basically drives a big wedge between them. And it's ultimately up to Marty himself to track down this truck. And he uses his dad's equipment. His dad gives him a new bike. He sells the bike to Ari for the ice cream. It's weird. This kid is just obsessed. Like he draws ice cream onto onto pieces of paper, and he licks the paper. He dreams about it. He writes stuff in his school books. It's crazy. And you know what's even crazier? The ice cream truck has the ability to manipulate objects around it. So, at night, in one chilling scene, when Marty's asleep, the water drain starts to run, or the sink, and it makes the sound of the ice cream truck, like, song, and it's so creepy. And also, the same thing happens to his alarm clock, where that starts playing the tune, and he shuts that off, and then the ice cream truck itself appears outside the house. And so it's gotten to this point now where Marty is so obsessed, he must have a taste, and his parents are just fed up with this. But Marty lies and says he's going to go use his bike and go get some exercise. He eventually gets the bike back from Ari. And he lies, and after dinner, he goes out on his bike. He does ride his bike, but he's really riding it to track down the truck. And so he finally tracks down the truck. And a really cool point in the middle of the episode is the mailman, the local mailman. He tells the story of Jimmy Jeffries, who was this young kid who tried to track down the truck just like Marty is. and he eventually went missing. Like he turned a couple corners, and he tried to track down the truck, and he was never seen again. So that's like the whole other plot, is what happened to the Jimmy Jeffries kid. And Marty is wondering, and so is Ari. And the mailman is like, well, take care. And he leaves. And back to the end of the episode, the ice cream truck is finally caught. So Marty uses the spikes from his dad's equipment, and he finally pops the truck's tires right as it's hunting him. And he goes inside the truck. He goes inside the window because nobody obviously is in the truck, or apparently. And Marty goes inside the truck, and he gets this triple layer cone, the classic creamy cold product. Of course, it's like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, I think. So it's like a mixture of all those flavors. And he goes inside the truck, and the truck actually locks the window. And so we find out what happened to the Jimmy Jeffries kid. And it turns out that the Jimmy Jeffries had been living inside the truck for, I remember how many years. Was it, I forgot how many years that he was living in there. 39 years? I don't remember, but it's a specific number. And we find out that that Jimmy Jeffries is in fact alive, and he's been like the truck has been feeding on his soul for the past, I don't know, 30 years. And he's really like not ugly, but he's really unsettling. Like the way he looks, he's like frozen basically with icicles on him. And he says, well, finally, someone else has come to take my place, and this is the big twist ending. So it's revealed that the ice cream truck doesn't have a driver because it doesn't need one. It just needs a soul. And so the former driver, I guess, or the passenger of the truck, Jimmy Jeffries, walks out of the truck. He opens the back, he closes it, and he says, well, now you get to be the new driver. You get to have your soul sucked out forever. And he says, it's all you can eat. It's all you can eat. And he just screams that to Marty as Marty's taken away in the truck forever. And the truck drives off with him with this horrible jingle, and shuts itself off. And you see the front of the truck smiling with the ice cream cone. This episode is a masterclass of like suspense and tension. Like, it's just so much, like, it's so creepy, and yet it's so fun. Like, it kind of makes you want to, when you're watching the episode, it's kind of making you want to eat ice cream. And who doesn't love ice cream? I mean, it's amazing. But Marty went a little too far, you see. And now he is stuck inside the truck for possibly decades. And it's really creepy. The truck, if I had to complain about this episode, I would say we don't see the truck as much as I would want to see it. It's really menacing, and it's really unsettling, and it's a wonderful villain for the Haunting Hour. But we just don't see it nearly enough. It doesn't get enough screen time, but I mean, that's just a nitpick. I mean, the ice cream truck is just fantastically evil. It's just like really creepy. Like, you gotta see the episode. And even better, the first time you see the episode, it will really creep you out. And Marty's a great character. He's a little too into ice cream, though. He's a little too much into it. Ari's a great supporting character. He doesn't do too much, but he does factor somewhat into the plot. The mailman's good in his part. He's probably a really iconic part of the episode. And also, Jimmy Jeffries is a great character as well. We finally get to learn what happened to him. But I'd say the starring show of this episode is definitely the ice cream truck itself, especially the music that it plays and the way that it, appears and the sounds that it makes. It's just really well done. So I'm going to give Catching Cold overall a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect episode. Despite the fact that the truck doesn't appear that much, I still love it. So it is a wonderful episode. If you're going to watch any Haunting Hour episode, definitely consider this one. It's one of the greats, one of the best ones, and it will definitely chill you to the bone, in my opinion. So, what do you think about Catching Cold? What do you think about the Haunting Hour? Let me know in the comments below. I thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. More reviews to come. And take care. Have a great day. The next episode in the series will be out soon. Thank you for watching, and take care. Have a spooky rest of your day.